Alright, hi there everyone. So I'm on the moon, as you can tell, this evening. I hope the audio is okay. I had some issues with the microphone earlier on. Anyway, I've currently got the Edge 11 set up with the 2.5x Barlow on it. It's giving me 7000mm focal length. And the conditions are not too bad. There is some clouds floating around, but hopefully the bulk of them have disappeared. So I thought I'd just start off with, as I say, with the 2.5 Barlow at 7000mm, and then we can always switch across to the 4x Teleview Powermate, which will take the scope up to 11,200mm, and even here at 7,000 the image is pretty clear. I think you would agree. So hopefully it will stay that way. So this is really just a quick test so you can see what the two different focal lengths are like on the moon. I had intended to try it on Saturn as well, however the scope isn't star aligned, so I've got no idea where I am in space, and the only target I can find is the moon. So I'll need to go back with my normal setup and get the mount properly aligned. So at the moment it's just, as I say, it's pointing at the moon. It is polar aligned pretty roughly, and it seems to be tracking on lunar mode quite okay. So I've got no idea what the orientation is, and trying to find any of the normal craters and things on the moon is quite dark. It's quite difficult at this scale. So you can see here I've got the mount set for 8 times sidereal rate, and it takes approximately 10 seconds or something to cross the surface of the moon, even at that magnification. So we are zoomed extremely far in onto the surface. And every so often I do see, I think it's satellites that go zipping through the field of view in a straight line. So I don't know whether you'll pick them up on YouTube's compression or not, but I certainly see them on the laptop screen. So for this configuration tonight with the Edge 11, what I've done is I've removed my normal optical train, which is the Celestron OAG and the ASI2600 and ZWO filter drawer, and I've replaced it with a SCT Badder 2-inch quick lock, and then I've got a 2-inch diagonal, and then I've got the Barlow, whether it's the Celestron Luminous 2.5 times, which is in at the moment, or my Powermate 4X. It goes into the diagonal, and then I just put my ASI174mm camera is the one I'm using this evening, the mono camera, and that just goes straight into the back of whichever Barlow I'm using. So this is the first, well, last night and the night before, while I was messing around trying to get it set up. Last night was the first night I actually managed to get it working with the 4x Barlow to take me up to the 11,200mm. So as I say, at the moment this is in the 2x or 2.5x configuration at 7,000mm. And we can see things are pretty crisp. A little bit of atmospheric disturbance, and I've had to, given the magnification, you know, I've got the CPWI focuser, so I've got the Celestron focus motor installed on this Edge 11, and I've got the focus control fine set to 5 steps so I can get right good tightness on the focus, which seems to work not too bad. I also took a set of flats just by pulling out the focus by 1,000 steps, and that automatically applied onto the image. So if we just have a scout around the surface, and hope the clouds don't come in again. We had heavy rain today. I was trying to find Tycho crater, but I've got no idea where I am on the surface, so it's quite hard to work out where I am. I'm not sure if that's it there. So I have taken a few 30-second captures of a few of the craters before I went live, and I'll process them later on, and I'll post them probably on the community tab of my YouTube channel. Good evening, Scott. How you doing? Yeah, we're not at 11.5 meters at the moment. We're only at 7,000. This is the 2.5x Celestron Luminous Barlow I've got in. So I'll just have a scout around the surface using that, and then we'll switch across to the 4x Teleview Powermate, and that'll take it up to the 11,200. The native focal length of the Edge 11 is obviously 2,800mm. Yeah, it does surprise me how clear it is for that magnification. Obviously the seeing conditions seem to be quite favourable this evening. I don't know whether the rain and that today has cleared the air a bit and settled things down. It's certainly been cloudy the last few nights. I just noticed I haven't got my webcam and the rig camera on, so they should just be appearing. Hey Cole, how you doing? How's life in Seattle? So we've got the Edge 11 on the go with a 2.5x Celestron Luminous Barlow, and camera tonight is the ASI174mm. So this is at 7,000mm. A focal length, and we'll shortly switch across to the 4x Barlow and take the scope up to 11,200mm. Yeah, I don't think I'll find anything Indian, Ian. I don't even think with these scopes we've got sufficient resolution for seeing that detail. I don't even know where they are on the moon. I've got no idea of what my bearings are in terms of what's up, down, left, right, where the South Pole is. I've got no idea. As I said earlier, if you've just joined, very occasionally I do see appear to be satellites just zipping through the field of view, but I don't know if you'll pick them up on the YouTube compression. So I'm just walking the moon from top to bottom, left to right, or bottom to top I should say, although there is no top and bottom. and then we'll switch across. And as we get up to this darker area, I can just adjust the image contrast and we start to see more of the detail around the crater rims and things. So yeah, I'm extremely pleased how it's looking this evening. So the way I've got this set up tonight, if you missed the start there, basically I took my normal imaging train off the Edge 11, including the 0.7x reducer, and I've put a Badder 2-inch SCT click lock adapter directly onto the back of the OTA. Then I've got a 2-inch diagonal in there just to help with the back focal distance, and then I put either of the two Barlows directly into the diagonal, and then put the camera straight into the back of the Barlow, and that just seems to be working fine. Hi Wayne, good evening. Yep, this is on one of my CGXL mounts, the one that sits outside the observatory on the normally with the Edge 11 on it. So it seems to be tracking fine. I did set up to try and get Saturn at these big magnifications or focal lengths, but I haven't got the mount star aligned at the moment. It's only roughly polar aligned, so I've got no idea where Saturn is. I tried to find it but just could not find a thing. When you're dealing with this magnifications, it's you look less than needle in a haystack you're looking for. I did align the finder scope to the main OTA, but even then I was struggling to find absolutely anything other than the moon, so I'll need to go back and do a proper star alignment of the mount. I could always maybe rig up a second telescope onto the mount and do plate solving just to try and get it aligned, but I haven't got that set up at the moment. So we'll head back down here. If anybody knows where we're looking at, shout out in the comments, because I've got no idea what all these crater names are. I don't know if this is the Sea of Tranquility here, this big area, but at this scale it's hard to work out what you're looking at. I really need to have a big picture of the moon in front of me and marked up with the crater names and try and pattern match all the craters. It's even worse when I go to 11,200. Even these small craters just basically fill the image. Let's see if I can find the Tycho crater again. I think it was down near the bottom somewhere. This might be it here. Does that look familiar to anyone? Is that Tycho? It's certainly got all the hallmarks with all the lines coming off it. Let's see if I can just sharpen it up a touch. Got too many screens to look at. Right, so before the next band of clouds come in, I think I will go and switch the Barlow to the 4X and we can try again. Now it's not quite fully parafocal, so I do have to adjust the focus slightly, but if I keep the camera on the centre of the moon, it makes it easier to make sure everything's come back in correctly. I don't know if there's a bit of wispy cloud coming here. The image brightness seems to be changing. Let me go back to Tycho and just grab a quick. Is this Tycho here? Not sure. Could be. It's one of them. Anyway, let me do a quick 30-second capture of that. I'll process it later. Okay, so that's the 30-second capture finished. So here's the 4X teleview. I will go and stick that into the optical train. I'll remove the 2.5X Barlow, and yeah, hopefully we don't lose things or I'll knock something and we end up having to go back to square one. So you'll see me appear on the outside camera just in a minute, so bear with me while I go and swap the Barlows, and we'll go to 11,200mm. There's a band of cloud just coming, it's a few seconds away, so better be quick. Let's come out. Oh, I'm going the wrong way, I think. Yeah. I think we're going. Oh, there we go. I think we're going to get beaten by the cloud here. Need to increase the exposure time just slightly to compensate, because we'll be at f40 now. Oh, here's the cloud coming, it's beating us quickly to focus. Nearly there. Let's move over a bit. Going to be going through focus. So I think we're far off there. How's that looking? A little bit brighter. Alright, so that is the moon, roughly. I think the focus could do with a little bit of tightening up, but that's at 11,200mm. So if I change my movement down to 4 times sidereal, and now we have a look around. This focus isn't quite right. Need to go the other way. I need something to focus on. It's just let's go back to 10. No, it's definitely getting worse than the right way the first time. I think we're basically there. Just need to come out a notch. The camera's not in the same slight rotation. So yeah, so this is the moon at 11,200mm focal length. I should go and rotate the camera slightly, it's throwing me off. So we can see we've got some slight bunnies on the screen there. I think I'll need to change the flat. I need to go and rotate the camera. It's doing my head in being slightly out by 45 degrees. Bear with me. Big bank of cloud coming. I don't know if I've turned it the right way. That's close enough. To reset the stretch, I think I'm going to adjust. Right, so if I take that flat frame off and adjust it. Yeah, focus. I think the clouds are starting to come in. It's not sharp now. conditions have taken a wonder. It was a lot sharper last night when I was doing this. Oh, we're obviously at the edge of the moon there. Need to get the sharpness back. No, can't find focus now. Oh, that's annoying. No, conditions are not suitable now. Well, that's annoying. Let me come out a bit and then go back in again. See if we go through. Yeah, so we've passed through focus there. Oh, well, that's disappointing. No, can't get focus. Well, we're going to have to abandon the 4x tonight. So I'll go and drop it back to the 2.5, because clearly the conditions have deteriorated and I can't get it. It's so close as well. Hopefully it'll calm down. It's looking a little bit better. Camera could still be done with it. Another little bit of a twist. me grab 30 seconds of that just to see if the software will do anything with it, and then we'll switch back to the 2.5 Barlow. Hey Benjamin, how you doing? I see Fox as well, Wayne, Scott, Ian, Cole, Scott, and whoever else is lurking. It's just not quite as sharp as I could get it last night when I was setting it up for the first time. Everything seems to be tracking still okay well. So the challenge is, where the hell is Tycho? So we're down at the edge. You got your moon map out, Zevox. Steer me to Tycho. It says Tycho here. Let's adjust the image slightly. No, that's not Tycho. I think the focus is tightened up a bit. I need to adjust that camera slightly. Still is a touch out in orientation. Exposure's too high. I need to get my histogram down a bit, it's too high. Right, I'm going to defocus and take a set of flats. And see all the dust bunnies. Capture flat. Oh. Okay, and put it back in. Still no idea where I am. Right, does anybody recognise that crater? It's quite distinct. Give us a clue where we are. Hey Peter, how are you? So Peter, we're on this is the Edge 11 with the Teleview Powermate 4X multiplier, taking the scope up to 11,200mm, and without no introduction you can tell that that's the moon. So at the start, earlier on, I started with the 2.5x Celestron Luminous Barlow, and then I've switched over to the 4x Proculus. That's that one. Okay, so where am I going for Tycho? Yeah, we've had rain today, Peter, and it's got more and more cloudy over the last couple of days. I think we're due some more tonight, tomorrow. I'd like to get some solar done as well, but is that what's the name of that sea again? Mares. I think I imaged that before. Too dark, that image now. Tycho a long way away. I think it's over the other side, sort of heading in this direction. Maybe worth going to the other side of the moon and then working our way down and back. Here we go, here's another, here's the Mickey Mouse one looking. Where are we now? Is this not where, I'm just trying to get, is this not where the blue ice, whatever it's called, is somewhere around here? Yeah, it's the right direction. Glad somebody knows where we are on the moon, because I ain't got a Scooby. Oh, we're on off the end, so question is, do we go up or would we go down? I'm just looking for the normal patterns around Tycho. Is this it here? Found Tycho? Sea Fox? Verdict? It's looking clear now. The seeing conditions have improved. Focus seems to be a bit sharper. what we need now is a big impact, something to come smashing in there. Would be nice. I don't even know if that is Tycho. It doesn't seem to be enough of the usual pattern around it. No, yeah, I'm not sure either. It doesn't look like it's got the usual lines, but it's maybe just because we're zoomed so far in that it's hard to tell. Because there is a patterning coming away from that centre point. Like, so it could be. I suppose Tycho's got, we've got a big dot in the middle of Tycho. I could always pull up a picture of it and see if that's it. Tycho. Not creator. Yeah, that could be it. It's got the dot in the middle of it. So we could be on it. Hi Simon. Yeah, we're on the Edge 11, which is natively 2800mm, and I've got the 4x Barlow on it now, the Teleview Powermate. So that takes us up to 11,200mm. Right, where am I going now? I want to turn the camera around, it's still slightly out. So does MD know where that Indian Chandrayaan landing site was? I know it was on the south pole of south pole of the moon, but I've got no idea which direction that is relative to Tycho. Wonder if I'm going to go and rotate the camera slightly, it's still annoying me. It seemed to have cleared up. Now, has that made a difference if I go the right way or the wrong way? That's better. Let's go up to the edge. And see if we can get some of the detail in the craters that's right on the edge at the top. Is this the south pole down here of the moon? Seem to remember that in the pictures. Yeah, I do like it when you get the light right at the edge and you can see the detail in the craters against the darkness of space. I think we can see that up at the top. I just want to grab a 30 seconds here, just for the sake of it. Hey Ray, how are you tonight? Is that finished capturing? 2 seconds to go. And let's carry on our journey up to the top. So just to focus slightly. And we start to see the shadows and the highlights of the crater walls. You can see it on that left edge. There we go. Yes, you can see the dark shadow of this right hand craters and then the highlights of the back wall. Let me just move over slightly and I'll grab this big crater as well and go up a bit. Let's grab another 30 seconds here. Hello Dino, or should I say daughter? Yes, it's the moon. See if I just adjust the exposure slightly. I think the focus is drifting. Come on, weather. Stop jiggling. Let's do another capture here. The view is flipped left over right, so I should be able to change it then. but then I'll screw up my I'll know which way I'm moving. If I drop straight down, you'll arrive at Plato. Okay, I'll take your word for it, Seafox, or is that since I've moved? There's obviously the delay between what I see in the chat and what I'm actually... Let me see if I can find Moon Crater Map. I could do with a bigger one. Do, 1000 pixels. Let's see, will this help us? I've got no idea where I am relative. America, I see, and we were over there. That's down the bottom left, I think, of my image. So yeah, it's flipped. So which one's Plato? Plato crater. Okay, I'm still lost. So if I go back over here, that's Plato, I think. That look right? Oh, give me a big image. Zoom in. Control plus. Yeah, I think that's Plato. Is that Plato? There we go, teamwork. We got there in the end. Yeah, the atmosphere, oh, there was something just shot through the field of view there. Yeah, the atmosphere seems to have calmed down again. Everything seems to be a bit sharper. Alright, where am I going now? So, can we work out where the Chandrayaan, or whatever it's called, landing site is? So near the South Pole. So it's down in this region somewhere. So if we find Tycho, I think we need to be down this region somewhere. Is that right? Let's head straight down. We should hopefully bump into Tycho. The mountain range. We're back up here. This one here, this is the mountain range, isn't it? I think. This ridge line. on the centre of these two craters, and we'll do a grab of that region. Let's go down a bit. "20 seconds to go." Right, Tycho, is it off to the right here? I don't know how far down I've gone. Seems to be a lot. I think we're over here, Tycho. It's sort of heading that way. It's looking more like it. Yeah, there we go. We're back at Tycho. Let me grab another 30 because that seems to be looking better. There's quite a delay, about 30 seconds between what I'm looking at live and what's coming back at me on YouTube Studio. Alright, so that was Tycho. So down here somewhere, I believe, is where that ISRO landing site is. No idea where, but it's in amongst this, I think. I'll have to walk up this side of the sun. I always wait to say the sun there, the moon. Oh, I can see the craters here. Let's see if we can just get the detail in the edge. Let's grab that. I'll have to go back and watch one of Bray Fall's videos. He had a piece of software for building a massive mosaic of the moon. I'd like to give that a try someday at this resolution. I think it would be a bit of a challenge. Let me grab another 30 seconds here. That's quite cool with the shadows of the crater. No, I don't think it was APP. I've been bitten on the leg by something. So what's that big crater then? See, Fox, you're the map master. No, it was a piece of software, a bit like SharpCap, but it didn't have as many features, I don't think, and it physically moved the mount to all the positions for doing the captures at the various panels. It was one of his videos. I'll have to go back and try and find it. I think it was early last year or the year before. Oh, it's the bin man. Must be after midnight. No, it wasn't a Nina plugin, it was a standalone piece of software. That's a surprisingly flat area of the moon there. Relatively speaking, I suppose. What's over here? Right, let me capture these two craters in this feature. Right, I'm just going to go off mic just for 30 seconds or so. I need to nip outside. Alright, I'm back. I can't pronounce that. Aristarchus is the brighter one, to the left one. That's a nice little setup there. Let me just have a tweak here. I'm surprised the internet's actually working so well tonight as well. It's unusual. What type is telescope? Okay, so I've got a Celestron Edge HD 11-inch. It sits on top of a Celestron CGXL mount. Connected to the telescope, I've got a Baader 2-inch click lock adapter, and then a 2-inch diagonal, and then the TeleVue Powermate 4X Barlow, and into that I have got an ASI174mm mono camera. So that is what the setup is tonight. Earlier on at the start of the stream, I was using the 2.5x, this is it here, this is the Celestron Luminous Barlow, which I had in at the start. So with the 2.5x, it takes the native focal length of the telescope up from the 2800 to 7000 millimeters, and then with the 4x it takes me up to the 11,200 millimeters. Conditions have definitely got more stable. So what scale are we looking at then? Who's the knowledgeable ones on the moon? So are these craters around about 100 kilometers or something like that? 200 kilometers? This is definitely the brighter side, I can see that. So where's my map? So we're up the top, heading down here I think, towards Plato again. So we'll maybe bump into it somewhere. It should be down here on the right. It's not that one, I don't think. Is it? Oh, it could be. That might be Plato. You want to try and get a good image of Saturn using mine or your 9¼ edge. Do you have a suggestion on whether to use the reducer? I would say probably use a Barlow rather than a reducer. If you have a look back at one of my previous live streams using the Edge HD, I did Jupiter at 7000mm, and that was using the 2.5 Barlow. So that might give you an idea. Obviously the 9¼ I can't remember, I think is that 2000mm native, approximately 2080 or something like that, native focal length. The crater with the two peaks, is this one here you're on about, Seafox? Or are we in 30-second delay land? So if that's the same one, Seafox, then that's 71 kilometers across. I'm surprised we can get that level of detail. Excellent. Well, that's nice to know. Anywhere else we want to go and eyeball? Or we just walk around? I don't think we've been across the middle for a while, have we? Probably missed something of detail. So this big flat area, is that the Sea of Tranquility? Sea of Serenity. That's this one. And then the Sea of Tranquility is below it. So let's just go back up and see where we are. So this is the Sea of Serenity. And then there should be a ridge into Is that right? No, we're back at Tycho again. Are we? God almighty, where are we? No, we're in this crater here, I think. Oh, I don't know. I need a more detailed map. Let's go up here and back up to where all that ridge . Yeah, I'm using the diagonal to get the right back focal, or help towards. I don't know if it's exactly right, but yeah, it gets the right back focal distance, because obviously the native back focal distance of the Edge 11 is 146mm. Right in the shadows here. Blowing it out to need to come back a bit. What's a good filter for Saturn? I would imagine just a UV IR cut, just so it doesn't get blown out. Although I haven't tried myself. Yeah, it's definitely looking a lot sharper. I'm going to grab that. Alright, we're coming up for an hour and a half stream, so I might call it quits in 5 minutes. It's 12:30 at night here. Oh, I just moved that while it was capturing, didn't I? Let's put it back. And do it again. I think the best thing to do, Ray, is just try it. Reduce your region of interest so you can get a higher frame rate. Did I get to the bottom of the donut, Seafox? I think so. There's an internal reflection in the what do you call it, between the camera and the telescope, I believe, and oh, I've forgotten the guy's name. There was a YouTube video a couple of nights ago. Oh, I've gone completely blank who it was. He put a sleeve inside the optical train with some flocking material on it, and that eliminated the donut. So I haven't got round to doing mine yet. I did order up flocking material. It's arrived about 3 weeks ago, but I haven't taken it to bits yet to tackle it. So I bought enough flocking material to actually do the inner OTA as well, and then I've also got some Muso or Musa or Musu or whatever it's called, black paint to do any bolts and things that might be or any surfaces that I can't get to with the flocking material. So I'm going to give that a go and see how it goes. It worked for him, and Lucomatico also did a video about, oh, I've lost track of time now, maybe 6 weeks ago. He tackled some of the donuts on his as well. It certainly improved it, but I think he's still got donuts going by his latest videos, unless his videos are out of sync or out of sequence, I should say. But yeah, I'll be tackling that at some point on my rigs. I got my hands on the Muso or Musu black IR flocking material, which is a 99.7% reflection reduction at the IR wavelength. No, it wasn't Queef. Oh dear me. Am I logged into YouTube here? Let's have a look. No, I'm not logged into YouTube. Hey, hold on, let me find out my phone. YouTube. Why is the phone layout different? I want subscriptions. Oh my god, I can't believe my mind's just completely gone. Where is, oh, there we go, subscriptions. Hey, Jeff H. Jeff space H, it was his channel. He made up these 3D printed sleeves, or sleeves of some sort. He flocked them and slid them down into the optical train. He says he was getting his donuts were forming on the threads, the shiny threads inside the adapters. No, I've come off it. Yeah, but all my cameras have all got IR blocking filters or IR cut filters in the glass, so I wouldn't have thought it'd been IR, but I thought, well, I'll stick IR in. Might as well give it a shot. But I'll do the optical train first before I take the scopes to bits, in case I don't need to. I don't fancy breaking my RASA or my Edge 11. That's got a lot brighter, something's going on. And there we are back at Tycho. I think the atmosphere is stirred up again. Alright, so there we are back at Tycho. I'm going to call it quits there. That's an hour and a half of stream's been going. So as I said, that's the Edge 11, Edge HD 11 inch telescope with the TeleVue Powermate 4x Barlow, taking the scope up to 11,200mm focal length and using an ASI174mm camera. And at the start of the stream, if you didn't see it, and you can always go back and watch the rerun, I was also using the Celestron Luminous 2.5x Barlow to take it up to 7,000mm. Alright, so thank you very much. I'll probably do the stacking of these images tomorrow, or the captures I did, and you'll probably find them on my community page of my YouTube channel, or maybe over on my Instagram or my X or Twitter or whatever you want to call it now, and maybe in some of the other Discord channels and things. So thank you all for coming in by this evening. I didn't expect it to be as long as this or as successful. The clouds seem to have done me a favour and GTF'd. So on that, I am also going to go and GTF. So have a good night all, thanks for watching, and hopefully see you soon. If the weather's alright, I'm hoping to do some solar in the next couple of days, but we'll wait and see what this weather does here in Cyprus. So take care everyone, and clear skies. We'll catch you later.